I've been grinding so long. We gon' have you bob your head right to this dope song. Got these niggas second guessing and they still wrong. Getting the whole family behind me and we stay strong. Yeah, you know that we've been working because
yeah, that was Time to Eat by your boy Elu. Sorry, it's been a really early morning for us. We had to get up early to record this week's episode.
Somebody's going out of town.
Yeah, because I'm leaving for 2 weeks. Gotta love it. We'll be in Seattle. You know what I just realized? We still have an episode that we have to do.
Oh my god.
But we'll get it. We'll get you guys it. Don't worry about it. We'll figure it out. But before he has an aneurysm, let's tell you a little bit about us. I'm Mr. White.
I'm Mr. Black.
Why are you Mr. Black?
Because I like black clothes.
And I like white things.
He really wants to do that.
That's a thing.
I forgot about that.
I think that's going to be my next
episode.
shirt.
Ooh,
Since I have 3 shirts now.
Fuck off.
How many do you have?
I'm working on it, alright?
I like black
patient
things.
than you.
I
You're
like
just
black
throwing
clothes.
them out
I like
there.
white things. No, they're good. Put your dick on the table.
Alright.
Beep, beep.
Our Instagram is The Gentleman's Hour. YouTube and SoundCloud are the same. Gentleman's Hour.
Twitter is at Mr. White, Mr. Black. The E in Mr. White is a 3. It'll be somewhere in here while we're talking about it.
Email, which we want you guys to send us emails with your questions, opinions, concerns, all that kind of stuff, is The Gentleman's Hour with an E.
Yeah. Tell us how beautiful we are. Tell us how much you hate us.
How much you like my beard?
Stop fronting. On the next episode, I won't have a beard.
Oh,
Tell me how much you miss it.
Ooh.
I
don't know if that'll happen with me. Anyway,
might pin him down.
today we talked about friends.
Friends. How many of us have them?
I can't handle this guy this early in the morning. We started with what is a friend. To me, a friend, there's 2 types. There's 2 types. There's the friend that pushes you to be better, holds you accountable. It's this guy. He also is the other kind of friend as well. They overlap. The friend you go and have fun with, you go and fuck around with, you make an idiot out of yourself with, and you don't worry about all the shit you have going on. You go play golf with like our buddy Jack, or you go get some food, you go see a movie, you go chase girls, whatever.
I just kind of realized that our podcast versus our YouTube video are kind of like friends. Because our podcast is more serious while our YouTube video is jackassery at its best.
Fuckery is my favorite word to describe the videos.
Fuckery. That's perfect.
So that was for me what a friend is. Very, very basic, vague. You know, somebody that holds you accountable, pushes you to be the best you can be, and somebody you have fun with. Those aren't necessarily exclusive. They can overlap.
Yeah, for me, there's 3 types of friends. There is the good friend, the great friend, and then there's your best friend. And they kind of all fall under the categories that he's given, just with more in depth. The good friend, you only go out and do certain things. They're kind of more of an acquaintance, if we're honest about it. A great friend kind of pushes you. You kind of have great times. You hang out with them often, but it's more fun, more about
Having
relaxation and having a good time. While a best friend is there to push you. They make you be the best you can be, whilst also having fun with you, which is, I would honestly say, Mr. Black here for me.
Everybody will be better with me in their life. After that, we started talking about getting friends. For me, we're very, very different. For me, I typically get friends and meet people through the things that I do. Like school, you know, I've met a decent amount of friends in class, like this guy. I bought a motorcycle last summer. I met a couple friends that we go riding together, and we have similar interests outside of that, and it's grown from that. Sports teams I've been on, whether it's a soccer team, something like that. That's what my dad really instilled in me, is go out and do stuff, find things that you like to do. You will meet other people that like to do those things, and from there you can start talking to them, find out what else you like to do, invite them to go do things, though you'll get invited to go do things, and from there you can build a friendship. And he was kind of the opposite. I very rarely make friends in just social situations. Jesus, apparently that word
Say
is
social
not,
for me 10 times.
No, we're not
Because,
doing that.
you struggle with it every goddamn time.
It's been one other time, you fuck.
There's only been 3 times! That is every time! So anyways, for me, it's definitely more of a, I get out there and I have fun and I do me. And if we get along, if I don't want to punch you in the throat, we can be friends. If I don't enjoy your conversation, we can't be friends. It's as simple as that. I'm not going to force anything. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. typically it happens a lot more with the ladies than it does with guys, because I don't really get along with guys because fuckers like this guy make me want to punch him. Now, if
I'm too pretty to
Cooper,
get punched.
you're pretty enough to get punched real hard. If Cooper and I hadn't both been in the same type of mindset when we first became friends, we
Which
probably
was fuckery.
Yeah, we were just fucks.
Shout out to Miss I don't know
Robin
if I should say her
Smith.
name,
I said it.
yeah.
Hi, Miss Robin Smith.
Junior-
You created this.
Junior year.
We're
high
sorry
school
about
class,
the hell we gave you in high school. But yeah, I'm definitely the type of person who just goes with the flow. And if we become friends, we become friends. If not, we're not.
Totally. So, following getting friends is how do you keep a friend? Which, again, is something I'm not great at. Especially if you're not involved in the things I'm involved in. If I don't see you consistently, I am terrible at keeping in touch. I have a girlfriend who is, God, like more a sister than my sisters. Like, she's been there for me, very heavily involved with me in my life, in my darkest and in my brightest times. And she moved almost across the country, and I don't talk to her that much. Like maybe once a month we check in, we talk, we laugh, and then we again don't talk for a month. I try to get her to move back to Boise every single time we talk, because I love her, and God, she's gonna be like one of the groomsmen of my wedding, no doubt.
I'll be the best man. That sounds good. She can be whatever she wants to be. I'll be best man.
He is so full of himself. But I'm terrible, and we had the same experience when he was living in Portland. We talked over the phone maybe like 4 or 5 times, saw each other maybe twice when he came to visit. I have a cousin that's has been trying to get me to come visit him in college at Stanford. God, the whole time he's been there, and I just, dude, I don't know what it is. It's hard for me to make
selfish.
the effort. That's honestly probably it.
It's all good. We all have selfish moments. For me, keeping friends is about recognizing the fact that you're not always going to talk to a friend. Just because you don't talk doesn't mean you're not friends. Just because they're not actively in your life every single day doesn't mean they're not your friend. Like, you could call them star friends. That's a really lame thing to say, but just because you don't see them doesn't mean that they're not there. Mr. Black here is going to have a Mr. Black eye here pretty quickly.
Sorry, that was...
I'm working on my anger issues, and he's making them worse.
All right, but so we did mention that, you know what, no matter... we talked about losing friends, and I'm going to make it short and sweet. Sometimes you grow apart. It just happens. You get different goals. You move in different directions, and you grow apart. And that's a good thing, because they're not adding value to your life anymore. If somebody isn't adding value to your life, whether that's to your bank account, your physical health, your heart, your life in some way, it's just not a friendship worth keeping. That being said, I have a lot of friends that has happened with, old friends. I think we're still friends, more acquaintances, that has happened with. If one of them, anybody, even somebody that I had a falling out with, like an ex, was to call me and say, hey, I need you right now. I am struggling. I'm fucked off. I'm there. I'll help you. I'll do what I can. Bottom line, if I had love for you once, I'll always have some amount of love for you. And this guy is definitely the same way.
I'm definitely the same way. When it comes to that, like, honestly, on this point of if we don't have common factors, like, we just kind of fall out of each other's lives. That's a lot of the reason why this came to be, this whole podcast, was the fact that we both had similar goals in life, but we didn't really have anything that forced us to be friends.
For a long time, we were friends because he spent a lot of time with my roommate, honestly.
Because, just so you know, it's really cute when he gets jealous. He was so jealous.
Oh
Don't lie.
You're
lie.
exaggerating.
No, I'm
You
not.
did it.
Mm-mm. There's no exaggeration.
I got a
there.
little jealous for like a second, and I said it was ridiculous. I knew that it was stupid.
Yeah, he recognized it. Just because you recognize it doesn't make it any less jealous. It's like me saying, yeah, no. Just because I recognize jealousy doesn't mean it's not jealousy.
I didn't say it wasn't. Again, we bicker like a married couple.
It's all good.
So after losing friends,
That's why he got jealous.
we really got into on the podcast, we kind of got into the tangent. We seamlessly moved into how to treat your friends and be a friend in hard times. Honestly, it comes down to what we talked about in the last episode of sometimes you're going to love somebody more than they love you, and you have to decide when that becomes a problem and when that's just you being a good friend in hard times. If there's been times in my life where I was going through a really hard time and I was not able to add value to much of anybody's life. And specifically, the most recent was with Mr. White. And he was there for me, supported me, and put up with my whiny bullshit for a good 5 months. Like solid 5 months, and then less so for another like 6.
All right, guys. Sorry about that little skip that just happened. We ran out of memory space on our phone. Had to go and delete a lot of things.
Anyway, as I was saying, sometimes you got to give more effort in the friendship than the other person, and hopefully that's an ebb and flow, goes back and forth, and evens out.
Yeah.
It definitely has with us.
Sometimes you just got to recognize, though, that no matter how much effort you put into it, you can't turn a hoe into a housewife. Don't know what that has to do with anything.
It comes down to kind of what we talked about in the last episode. You got to know your standards for your friendship. If those standards are getting violated and it's a normal thing, obviously it happens sometimes. You know, once in a while a friend might fuck up. But if it's a consistent thing that they do more than, I'd say, once or twice, you got to really look at whether this is somebody you can have in your life that adds value.
Exactly.
So that was dealing with friends through hard times, social situations. It came down to, if you're a true friend, I'm not going to call you out in front of other people. If you're acting like an idiot or I think you're wrong, I will have a one-on-one conversation with you, either by pulling you aside or after the situation has happened. I'm not going to call you out and be like, no, dude, you're fucking up. What's wrong with you? In front of other people that we don't necessarily know that well.
Yeah, reprimand in public. Reprimand in private, praise in public.
And Mr. White talked about, I'm going to let you learn from your own decisions. You can deal with the consequences. I might say, hey, this consequence might happen, bro. You might want to be careful. And then if they continue to make that decision, that is up to them. You can deal with those consequences. If you really get in trouble, I'll be there to help you out. But other than that, all on you, dude.
I am my father's son. He told me not to touch the hot stove. I touched the hot stove and he said, bet you ain't going to do that again.
Very good example. That's perfect.
That's what he said. And so that's what if I tell you, hey, this is what's going to happen, and you do it, I'm not going to be like, I told you so. I'm going to be like, I bet you won't do that again. If we're in a situation where I feel like we're about to get into a fight, and by we I mean you are about to get into a fight, I might stop you and be like, hey, recognize your situation. This is probably going to be that fight for you. And if you still want to write that check, I'm going to let your ass catch it. Because at the end of the day, like, you made that decision.
Catch me outside, how about
Catch
that?
me outside, how about that? Anyways, I can't believe we just said that.
I
in
know,
this
I
video.
kind of hate myself a little
We should
bit.
hate ourselves a little bit. But that's just the way I am. But if, say in a fight, if it's you and another person, like for Cooper, if Cooper was to get into a fight with another person, I'd let it be. I'm pretty sure he can handle himself. But if Cooper, God grant us the serenity, doesn't get his ass whooped, gets his ass whooped, and this dude continues to beat his ass after he's already down,
Or other people step in.
or other people step in, I'm gonna step in and I'm gonna
Back you up.
back you up. Like, even if it means I'm not gonna get mad, but even if it means I'm gonna get my ass kicked, I'm gonna step in and fight with you. There's 2 people in this world who can kick my ass, and they're both named my father. So
Just call Mackenzie daddy.
sometimes I do.
Ooh.
Just depends on the day.
Shout out to Kenzie. So after that, we kind of talked about disagreeing a little bit. You know, just be articulate, be able to see where the other person is coming from. You don't have to agree on everything. You can agree to disagree, that cliche saying. But do your best to put yourself in the other person's shoes, see where they're coming from, and have a conversation about it.
I see your point. I just don't agree with you. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not much more to say about it. Guys, that was a very, very condensed overview of the podcast. We got into way more in depth in the podcast. Go give it a listen. I promise you will not regret it. Again, we're going to ask for referrals. If you enjoyed this, if you hated this, if you got anything out of this whatsoever, whether it was something to think about, a new perspective, or you just laughed at us being idiots, let somebody know and show us to them. Let us know what you think as well. You got our social media, you got our email. Type at your computer and let us know exactly what you think. We want criticisms, we want it all.
I love hate mail. All right.
That's opening a can of worms.
With that being said,
I've been grinding
have a great
so
day.
long.
Yeah.
We gon' have you bob your head right to this dope song. Got these niggas second guessing and they still wrong. Getting the whole family behind me and we stay strong. Yeah, you know that we've been working because yeah, you know it's time to eat.